What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the final episode in the series finale of The Walking Dead final season. So this is episode 4. I want to talk about a pretty simple question: is who's going to die, AJ or Clem? Both, neither. I want to talk about will either of them die? And I want to really use what we learned in episode 3 to kind of support what I'm thinking. And now these are just my thoughts. These are just my opinions. I may not be right. I'm probably not going to be right because I think it's a tricky thing in terms of what they're actually going to do, but I want to talk about that now. And when I'm recording this, I don't actually know if we've got an official confirmation, but when you go on the final season, it says episode 4 is March 26th, so I'm just going to assume that March 26th is the series finale. So very, very cool that we probably have a release date, but the biggest question I think on everybody's mind will be who's going to die. And this is, by the way, going to contain spoilers for the final season, including what happened in episode 3. So episode 3 did a lot of stuff, mainly in the second half of the episode. We got a lot of really nice scenes. We got what seemed to me like a lot of foreshadowing. The scene with Clementine and AJ going over once again what would happen if Clementine were ever bit, and AJ kind of saying, like, I'm not going to kill you. I said it once, but I'm not going to do it. I want you to bite me. I want us to be together. What James said, the Whisperer, is true, and all that stuff. That screamed to me, that they're kind of reminding everybody that this could happen. Does that mean they're saying, like, hey, in next episode, Clementine's going to get bit? No. Now, as we get into the later of the episode, we obviously have the scene with young Clementine and then Lee. And now this is a phenomenal scene. And I talked about this in my review. I think this is the best scene in this episode. I think this is the best scene in the entire season. I love what happened between Clementine and Lee in this scene. I think it's emotional. It's deep. And what I find interesting, I want to kind of zero in on, is when Lee says to talk to him, come back to him when this is all over and like after you've accomplished that goal. Now, there's a lot of different ways that this can go. And, I definitely think, firstly, I think we'll see Lee again in episode 4. I would nail that down as a number one prediction. Lee is going to return one more time. And I thought Lee did a phenomenal job. I thought that was a great, moment between those two characters in episode 3. But what this means is one thing. I have a feeling The Walking Dead's final season, episode 4, the final scene we see of the game, is going to end with Lee and Clementine. Now, in what situation? And that's where it gets to who's going to die. I feel like there's a couple ways, maybe 2 to 3 ways this can go. It could go where nobody dies whatsoever, and Clementine's just talking to Lee, recapping. Lee's like, you know what, kiddo? Like, I knew you could do it. I told you it, last time. And it could go like that, right? And then maybe they hug each other and they say goodbye one final time because, Lee is just kind of her consciousness talking to her. So it could just end with like a hug and Lee kind of backing up and disappearing, and it's all over. Clementine saved the day. She got her friends back. AJ's safe. She's safe. And they continue to live on. That is a possibility. Another thing that could happen is Clementine could get bit, right? They could save Violet, they could save Lewis, they could save all of these people, and then, Clementine's bit in the process, but everybody's saved. AJ is safe and he's not going to die. Nothing's going to happen to him. And Clementine sees Lee and she says, and, it's the same thing. It fulfills what Lee said in episode 3, come see me when you're done. So Clementine could see him and say, I did it. I got bit and I'm going to die, and I'm a little afraid of what's going to happen with AJ. Should AJ kill me? Should AJ be given the choice? I'm telling him to kill me, but you asked me to either kill you or leave you, or you got the choice. Lee kind of, wanted her to kill him. But like, what do I do? And Lee could say, well, here's what you do. And then it could happen. And then maybe Clementine goes with Lee and they both disappear into like darkness. That is possible. I feel like that's a dark thing that could happen at the end of episode 4, but I do feel like it's possible. Clementine could be reunited with Lee and they kind of step out together. What would that mean? It would mean Clementine would have to die, though, so that could happen. It could also be a thing where Clementine would hand off AJ. This is what my girlfriend Christy was actually telling me as an idea she had. It could be all 3 of them are meeting in this kind of consciousness thing, and Clementine says, I did it. I saved everybody. He got bit. I'm safe. I'm okay. He's going to die. Lee, what do I do? Do I have to do this again? Do I have to kill him again? And like I killed you. Could be like that. And then maybe Lee says, I'll take the boy. And then Lee and AJ walk away and they're gone. That's honestly what I feel like is going to happen. There's three things, those three right there, I feel like are going to happen, one of them. Because I feel like, that's going to be, I feel like if they were to end the season, end the series in any other way but with Lee and Clementine, whether it's just those two or also AJ, I feel like that's a little bit of a disservice, and I feel like they're letting go of an absolutely amazing opportunity to them, because I do think that would be something truly awesome if they ended it basically how they started with, Lee and Clementine. They were the things that started this Walking Dead, started episodic gaming in terms of, how successful it's been over the past, 6-7 years. So the question is, which one is going to happen? I mean, to be honest with you, I said in the beginning of the season, I felt Clementine was going to die. I'll lock down that prediction, I guess, but I honestly feel like any of those three that I said will happen. But I'll go with, in terms of, if you want my prediction, I feel Clementine could get bit. It's very hard because, are they setting it up and foreshadowing it so hard that Clementine's going to get bit and AJ's going to have to do what Clementine did to Lee? Is it really going to be that kind of passed down thing from, generation to generation kind of? I don't know. Does that seem like too cheesy or tacked on? It could be, but it could also actually be what fits the most and what makes the most sense. Could it be that AJ gets bit and Clementine has to do what she's done her entire life time and time again, and that's just survive and deal with all these people she cares about dying? Does that seem, again, tacky or cheesy or overdone or whatever? It could be. Does it also fit? Yeah. So it's really, really tough. They're in a tough bind, and I feel like there's going to be people that are going to say, I wish you would have done this other thing when whatever Skybound decides to do. I feel like people are going to come out and say, that they kill Clementine, and then people would say, that you should have really killed AJ, or maybe you should have killed both of them, or maybe you should have killed none. There's going to be people, kind of arguing for anything. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think should happen? Who's going to die? Do you think either of them are going to die? Both? None? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys are notified when all our future uploads go up. Obviously, we're going to be live streaming the final episode of the final season of The Walking Dead, and we'll have videos talking about what happens in that when that comes out March 26th. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.